Windy as crap out here.
Oh yeah!
Sorry about that. So, I'm getting a lot of naysayers here, and people are a little bit too optimistic also. Kind of both worlds. A lot of people saying this car was definitely not worth the trip. Can't believe you spent 38 hours getting this thing. There's not a good part left on it. Now, I do agree. I agree a little bit. There isn't, like, body-wise, no, there is nothing good on this body. So, the fenders, the doors, look at that door. The quarter panels, the trunk lid. Look at that trunk lid. You're seeing it. All bad. Rear bumper's got some pitting, but it's not terrible. Front bumper has a new end cap, but the rest of it's pretty well trashed. I mean, even the grill, the headlight trim, it's all bad. And even like this stuff, it's too pitted. Yeah, even this is rusted gone. Frame's rusted gone, front and back. You see holes there. The rear of the frame, where they all pretty much rust is rusted for sure. As you can see, she broke right there and rusted. But what is worth it, at least to me, what made this car worth it to me was, for one, the deal I got on it. Now, something like this, you couldn't pay a couple $1,000s for this. At least I couldn't, and have anything that's worth driving 38 hours to pick up. But for the deal I got it, it's well worth it. And I really appreciate Lewis for giving me the deal on this thing, because it's a big deal for me to have something like this. Now, people that got everything in the world, whatever, they might not care about having, you know, some rusty junk. But for me, this is really cool for me. So, what is worth something on this is the convertible rack. It's here. I'm working on trying to free it up a little bit. Probably have to take the cylinders off and let it just kind of free flop. Get the joints worked out, get them lubed up. So the rack is good, and it's here. A little rusty, but a little sandblasting and some paint will take care of that. The rear seat area, that's all good, and it's there. You can see it. The wheel tubs, surprisingly enough, the wheel tubs are in good shape. For as much rust as there is, they're actually in good shape. Your side panels there, that's all convertible specific. Those are good. Your quarter glasses, which for those who don't know, are different on a convertible, the way that they roll up and down. So those are good. Yeah, the chrome's got a little pitting on it. But stuff like that isn't a huge deal for me. Now, to some people, they might think it's no good, but to me, I don't care. So those are good. It does have the shell of the interior side pieces, and it has the lower shells. Even though this is pretty rotten, I could at the very least use this as a template to make a correct one. So that's valuable to me. The rear seat frame, even though it doesn't look like much, it's a convertible rear seat frame, which is pretty rare. Ask Raw Free. He had a hard time finding a seat frame. He got pretty lucky to find that. His was in a lot better shape, obviously. But, I mean, the frame and most of the springs are good. You can get new springs to rebuild what's broken, but the frame is good. And obviously, I would have to reupholster it anyway, so it's not a big deal to reupholster it. So the rear seat, convertible top, windshield posts. So the windshield posts are different on a convertible. It has all the latches and everything for the convertible. So this is good. There's some good stuff here. Even though it looks like a total piece of junk, I am super happy to own it. If it had a little less thorn bushes in it, I'd be sitting in this sucker smiling ear to ear. So again, I appreciate the deal I got on it, and this is gonna be cool. Now my plans for this, let me take a seat in the gold 6.4, get out of the wind a little bit. So my plans for this one, the convertible, is just to use it for parts. So a lot of people said, oh, you could restore that, which I'm not saying everything can be restored. I'm not saying it couldn't be restored. But honestly, on this one, you'd be better off starting with a restored convertible. I mean, you would be tens of $1,000s ahead of the game to just start with an R. You can pick up a restored, not restored, but a nice convertible for 20 to 25. If you're really hunting and you're ready to run when you see one, you can get them for under 20 sometimes. There's decent project convertibles out there for 10 to 15. You would have $10,000 straight off the bat without blinking, just in sheet metal. I mean, without blinking. Probably more like 12 to 15, because it needs everything. It needs fenders, hood. There's no hood at all. Fenders, hood, cowl, doors, quarters, trunk, floors, front to back, like firewall to rear bumper, floors. The A-pillars are rusted where the doors bolt on. There's just nothing there. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to scavenge all the convertible parts off of it. Oh, and also there's no VIN. So there's no VIN tag on this thing. Somebody robbed the VIN tag off of it and the title. I'm guessing to put it on a conversion, probably. It's pretty common. That way their conversion was titled as a real convertible. Makes it worth a whole lot more. I don't care about that. I think I'm going to do the SS, my SS, as a convertible. I was either thinking that or the Arkansas 64, which is I think the color's called Ivory Fawn, which is or almond fawn, something like, not Ivory Fawn, almond fawn, something like that. It's like a pewter color. It's like what Doughboy's 63 was in Boys in the Hood. So I don't know. Either that one doesn't have a title either, but it does have a VIN number, so I could get a title for it. But I'll probably end up doing my SS, because there ain't no arguing with a triple black SS convertible. And the fact that I don't really care if it's titled correctly. I'm not selling it anyway. So that's the goals. That's what my intentions are for this convertible. Yeah, a lot of people kind of went both ways. Why would you do it? And then some people were like, dude, restore it. It's not a restorable car in my opinion. And it just does not make any sense. So that's the goals. Thanks for watching. Next video I'm going to do is I'm going to do kind of a comparison video on hardtop versus a convertible, some of the differences on them. It's kind of interesting. A lot more like reinforcements than what you would think on a convertible. And some little odd things that I didn't notice until I seen a convertible up close. So I'm gonna do a little comparison video on that. I'm probably gonna wait until the wind's a little bit better and it's a little nicer weather out here. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe. I did start a Patreon page, which I'm gonna end up doing monthly giveaways on my Patreon. So if you guys want to be a part of that, join my Patreon. I'll leave a link down here. It's just patreon.com/RJTickler. If you guys could help out with that, all the money that I get from Patreon is going to be used to make videos more consistently. It just helps because I'm pretty busy at the shop, so a little financial help kind of makes it worth it for me to take time away from customer cars a little bit and make videos. Otherwise, it's just really difficult to be sitting out in the wind making videos. So, thanks, guys.